Welcome back to What Are Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the T92 HMC, the Tier 10 American SPG. This one's located on the south spawn of Cliff, and it's under the command of Oksydor, and that's why it's got 3 marks of excellence on the barrel. Game on. Well, just yesterday I was watching Oksydor stream on Twitch TV. Yes, you can catch him. But I like having him on in the background because I can see what he's getting up to. It also helps because I don't ever really want to meet him on the battlefield unless he's on the same team, because he is devastatingly good. Okay, well, getting ready for his first shot. He's decided to aim for the road running up towards the top of the cliff, the lighthouse. He hasn't finished loading yet, but an enemy light tank is more than likely going to try and get up there. Or at least not a light tank, probably a medium, because they don't actually have any light tanks on the enemy team at all. I'll be very surprised if somebody from the enemy team doesn't go up there. Well, nobody has actually gone up there. Nobody's made a dash. And our guys are getting very close to the center point. Okay, he's having a quick look for the tank destroyers. And it looks like a pair of medium tanks have decided to go around the cliff edge. And I think that he'll line up a shot to welcome them. Okay, it's the Object 277. Oh my gum, that shell zipped over the top of him, landed in the water well down below. It was within the rescue, but right at the very edge. So RNG was being very unkind on that occasion. This is one of the longest reloading vehicles in the game. It's 46.38 seconds by the book. I'm pretty sure that that Oksydor's managed to get it below 40 seconds. And oh dear, we just lost the Centurion Action 10 to their SDB. Okay, he's loaded again. Fires it straight in. And actually manages to splash the SDB-1 and track him at the same time. And he's fixed his repairs and he's mobile again. I think he had to fix those problems because otherwise he was going to get hit by the Minotauro. But there's 2 SDB-1s in that assault. So having a quick look at the board, they're not in platoon. Just they happen to end up in the battle on the same side. On our team, we've got 2 Heshbons, 2 FV4005s, which is surprising. Rounds out the SDB. This time it worked. 561 hit points, and he got damage to the other SDB-1 as he was in the blast radius at the same time. Now, these shells will do 1100 alpha if they actually penetrate the vehicle, and 60mm of pen, 12.4 meters burst radius. But he's also got some premium HE, or rather the non-stun HE, which will do 1420 hit points of damage, 75mm of pen, and of course they have a decreased burst radius. Now he's gone back to where the other STB was seen, and no sightings. Unfortunately, we've got nobody up in the sniper's nest at the moment to actually tell us where they are. And our mouse is, well, he's not particularly being helpful. The main problem is that our teammates in the Minotauro and the AMX-50B need to spot for us. They're the ones that are closest to the enemy tanks at the moment. Well, it looks to me as if Oksydor's going to have to switch targets. And he had a quick look there to see, could he actually switch over to the other side? And now he's found another target he can aim at. That's the Superconch. Tier 10 British heavy tank.
Acknowledged.
Now he holds down his right-hand mouse key so he can actually look at the target whilst it's dying in. Or dialing in, rather, not dying in. And then he backed up a bit. He's right up against the edge of the map there. He holds down his right hand key so he can actually dial in whilst he's having a quick look elsewhere. Now it looks like one of the enemy STB-1s has been wiped out, and the other one's using the wreck for cover, and that 277's there as well. Now, this is where Oksydor can get some really big hit points because the STBs do not have a lot of armor. So if the shell hits him, it could go through. Rounds out. It goes to the right, unfortunately, and it doesn't make contact with the STB-1. He might have taken some splash, we don't know. At the moment, the enemy team is up on us on hit points. But that could be about to change. Oh no, unfortunately it's gone the wrong way because we just lost the AMX-50B to their STB-1. So shot in the rear whilst he's trying to defend this area. Okay, we're lined up on the Super Conch. We've got the premium HE, or rather non-stun HE, ready to go. Rounds out. That's a hit. 529. He's desperate to move back a bit further, but of course if he does, he might break that wall, and that might give the enemy a clue as to where he actually is. There's two enemy Arty in this game, a GW E100, or Geschützwagen E100, as I should call it, and an Object 261. Almost loaded. He's got about 38 seconds, I think, on the reload. Again, he's holding down his right-hand mouse button. Ready to go. Rounds out. Oh, big hit! And it looks like that might have been... Well, it wasn't a penetrating shot, but it was a big hit for 650 hit points. I'm sure that Super Conch really regrets that one. And our teammate in the Object 705 wasn't stunned at all by what happened. Now, up in this corner, there might be a tank destroyer up here. More than likely, it's going to be the FV4005 on the enemy team, or it could be their Strip 103B. We haven't seen those two tank destroyers anywhere else. He's firing in this corner. Oh, the shell went to the left, but it hit something. Something is really hurting right now because they just got a non-stun HE, the extra HE, with extra oomph, and there goes the Super Conch taken out by our Geschützwagen E100. Yeah, something is up there, and he's not a happy bunny now because he just got hit by a 24-centimeter shell, which must have done a substantial amount of damage to him. Okay, we're dialing in on the STB-1 as quickly as we can. Almost ready. STB is making his move, but we... Oh, he just knocked the tree down. Now, we can't see him. Looking over the other side, we can see this Minotauro making a move. He might have been the guy that was hit. Oh, and he's out the game now. That was a beautifully timed shot. 548 hit points from that one. A very big hit, and now that's turned the figures around completely because now it's 4 versus 2 on the kills. And that STB-1 is having a difficult job facing a Minotauro because they have very strong armor at the front. And I'm not sure that STB-1 is up to penetrating him. That's our teammate in the other Arty. Okay, he's lined up, but he's not going to shoot. He's only got 2 more rounds of the extra HE available. Remember that Object 277 somewhere around that neighborhood as well. And of course there's more enemy tanks that we can fire at. The only enemy tank that was in sight until a moment ago was the Type 5 Heavy, but now we've got a Super Conch, another one, come up to the center line. And we just managed to get another kill. The Leopard went down on the enemy team. Okay, so he has decided now he's going to try and focus on this corner and see if he can get whichever tank destroyer is sitting in there. And he's just hit them again, or whoever is there. It might not be the same tank destroyer, because remember, it could be a Strip 103B, it could be the FV4005. Now he's changing position just slightly, just in case the enemy Arty is aware that he's firing from this bush area. If they fire at the bush, it'll land behind him and there won't be any damage. Okay, it's a very difficult shot to try and make contact with that Super Conk. There's the STB-1. He's moved over to the other position again. Dialing in. He thinks he's safe here at the moment. He's not really. And in fact, he could be put out of the game.
That was close.
Well, he managed to pull back in time because he got advance warning that shell was on the way. Nope, we're switching to a new target, going back to the tank destroyers. I'd say there's a very good chance that if he did hit the FV4005, he might have done 1,000 hit points of damage or more. And if he hit the Striv 103B, he could also have lost a substantial amount of hit points because they have very thin armor. Rounds out again. Somebody there? And this time, no. And now he's loading the standard HE with stun. Okay, looking over this side, our mouse is getting close enough to stop those guys from moving any further. It's a bit of a vulnerable position for a mouse to be in. I've tried holding that position myself. You're vulnerable to any enemy tanks that are up on top of the hill, but if you can take care of the tanks that are on top of the hill, there's a little dip where you can go into to stop the enemy shooting at you. The only problem is that the enemy Arty tends to focus on you if you're in that little dip, because the only place you can come is out of the dip, otherwise you fall off the cliff into the water. Okay, on the enemy side, on the Western Pass, now if we had the premium HE, now would be the time to use it, but unfortunately it looks like we're going to be firing a standard HE round in there. It hit the wreck. Unfortunately, they used the wreck for cover. It was an MX-50B that was wiped out on that corner, and they're now pushing the wreck ahead of them. The Type 5 Heavy. Okay, have a quick look over, and a Viz 55, and now they've got a 60 TP with them. Now, if we could land a round right on top of that lot, it's every Arty player's wet dream. You have 3 enemy tanks bunching together in the same place at the same time. You fire a round in, you get 3 kills for 1. Rounds out. Well, the Type 5 felt that one. 479 hit points of damage. I'm pretty sure he must have damaged the other enemy tanks as well at the same time. And that Type 5 didn't like that. He pulled back. We also know that one of the enemy Artys is definitely an A4 because we saw the tracer come from that direction. So we now know where he is. More than likely the other one would be somewhere down in A1 or A2 on the corner of A2.
Moving in to support you.
Okay, the Viz 55 is going to be the next. Unfortunately, we just lost our Heshbon and also our Object 260. The Type 5 has broken through, but he gets wiped out very quickly. The STB-1, and oh, that was the Geschutzwagen E100 killing the Viz 55. And there's the Heshbon. Okay, he's not up on the hill, so it must have been the Striv 103B that was up on top of the hill. And the enemy's being pushed back now. I expect that any second now we're going to get some calls for help from the tank destroyer or from the heavy tanks that are moving towards their cap area, because, yeah, they're saying there's a sniper up at A5. Unfortunately, we're out of ammo, so there's nothing more we can do except spot for our team. Now, we can act as a distraction, and the best thing to do would be possibly to go up the hill rather than going straight across to the Western Front. If we go to the Western Pass, we're just going to become a target for the Heshbon and the 60 TP. And that's the last minute hooter. There's still 5 enemy tanks out there.
Moving to support your position.
We did as much help as we could to try and get rid of the snipers up in the sniper's nest. Now the Heshbon might be about to fire. Oh, well, we survived a shot from a Type 5, but took a direct hit from their Geschutzwagen E100. Well, he's moving into spot for the team. And oh, they just killed the 60 TP. The Strip 103B's gone. And now he's trying to ram the enemy in a T92. He spotted the Heshbon. Can we get the kill in time? 4 seconds left. They kill the Arty. They kill the last enemy. That's a win. What a game by Oksydor. Run out of ammo. Scout for the team. What an absolutely excellent game from Oksydor in the T92 HMC. You can see why he has 3 marks of excellence on his barrel when he plays like that. He got an ace tanker in the T92 HMC. He also got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 15. He got a Gorse medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points for his own vehicle. A Confederate medal for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And on top of that, he got the high caliber as well for dealing the most damage in that game overall. His win rate was 6,864, which is Super Unicum standard and a bit more. There's a bit of information we can get right away, and that's the Striv 103B. He got a blind hit on that guy for 693 hit points while he was up in the sniper's nest. And yes, he did hit the Heshbon as well. 389 hit points out of that guy as well. So let's have a look at the team scores and see where he was. Well, he's top of the column when it came to damage with 6,958 hit points. The nearest player to him was the Heshbon on his own team, who managed 4,029 hit points, followed by the STB1 on the enemy team with 3,569 hit points. When it came to kills, it was the STB1 on our team who did best with 4 kills. He actually picked up a Pescucci's medal as well because he got both enemy Arty. 3 kills went to the STB1, the Geschosswagen E100 on our own team, and also to the STB1 on the enemy team. And we can see that Oksydor only got 1 team, which actually puts him in joint 4th place on this team. But when it came to base XP, look at that. He's right up at the top. So he got 2 out of 3 in the columns. 1,107 went to Oksydor. 1,003 went to the STB1. And they were the only 2 players to get over 1,000 base in the game, with the other STB1 getting 956. He fired all 16 rounds of ammunition during that game. He got 8 direct hits on the enemy, 2 penetrations, and 18 splash. Damage of 6,958, all of it at more than 300 meters. He did receive 1 hit by way of splash. Yes, the enemy Arty wasn't going to let him go that easily, but he was able to shake it off and continue his scouting run at the enemy. Well, you might say it was a suicidal run, but it's the only way you can get some more hit points, either to spot for your team or to actually ram the enemy tanks and try and take them out that way. 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 1 was killed, 316 hit points of damage assistance, and 527 hit points of stun assist off 8 stuns. He earned a profit of 82,413 credits on a premium account. He got 7 bonds because this was tier 10. And he also took away 11,626 experience points by completing a mission as well at the same time. Wow, that was absolutely fantastic. He did say great blind shots. Well, he did get great blind shots because we can see now he definitely hit that Striv 103B for a large amount of damage. And he also hit the Heshbon as well, although it's not quite as much as I thought it would have been, the Heshbon. So I'm a bit curious as to why one of those blind hits, it might have been one of those blind hits, was actually on one of the heavy tanks we can see here that we didn't actually... one of the heavy tanks may have been sitting up where the tank destroyers were, and he just got hit in the process. They did have a Minotauro. He lost 2,250 hit points of damage during the game, and in fact you can see that there were 2 penetrations on that guy, so maybe that was the guy who was sitting up there in the nest alongside the Striv 103B and got hit twice by rounds which went straight through him. That's a huge amount of damage from one guy, the Minotauro. So I hope you enjoyed that absolutely incredible game. This game took place today at 4 o'clock in the morning. I must admit, I was actually still up. In fact, I was up until 7 producing videos, but this one, I didn't see it come in. Had I known it come in, I would have done it immediately. But I'm very pleased to actually do it on the same day that it actually happened. a few hours later. If you enjoyed this replay, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.